that.
Oh, that was that was beautiful.
But here we are, ladies and gentlemen, into the land of dawn for game number 1 in this best of 3 series. Athos, the Red Robots are looking to tie down the Giants of the Philippines. You can see things coming into play right now, but there you go, Kirk Kalea.
Yeah, folks, the reason why I'm not so fond of a... Oh, wait, what's Light thinking? All right, we're just trying to get out of Dodge. The reason why I'm not so fond of a XP Kalea is you're wasting a lot of your innate sustain. Unless aggressively your teammates rotate to you, when you proc your passive, when you get your heals off, they just go to you. Like, that's a little selfish. So I'm like, maximize that kit. She's a new hero that brings something new to the table. I'd say get the most of it, but hey, this is ONIC Page's draft.
Now we're gonna see whether or not it will work out, because I guess that's fair, right? We've been seeing a lot of Kalea more so into the roaming position. And speaking of roamers, you're looking at this Brusco on the Cho being able to buy so much time, looking for so much information as well as rotations coming through.
There you go, 3 men on a Kirk here, and we changed some. Oh no, so quickly, Eman goes down. It was a counterplay mirrored from XP to gold. And ONIC PX, the super fam, get their prey much faster.
Yeah, and they actually will be able to get it, right? BIGETRON, unfortunately, unable to get that trade over to Kirk in the EXP lane. And we're seeing the Kalea at work, right? A lot more sustain. Wait a second, Luke is going to get caught quite low. I don't think they're going to commit over to this. Moreno still on the Selena, as aggressive as ever, and that's actually going to force a recall over to Super Friends.
Yep,
Might lose this a wave.
Yeah, no, because Moreno is going to clear much faster. This will compromise slightly their rotations towards the first turtle of the game. Super Friends still not a level 4. Moreno already hit that power spike. He did already, playing the Selena, has his full kit much faster than most. But this is ONIC PH at 300, so BIGETRON Esports not so fond of actually running in and forcing it. Kirk, here first. Brusco checking that Y brush. Arrow thrown out by Moreno, no one home.
Not going to be able to look for it just yet. Luke is looking for a potential opening here. The turtle's already at half health.
Now at a 10th, in comes the AOG. Annabelle secures the turtle, and King Kong goes out of the way. Oh, just dodges that arrow. Shadow kill, defensively used. Goes down through a concussive blast from Light. That's another casualty as Super Friends get out of there, but still falls 6 feet under.
Yeah, 3-4-0 trade, I would say, in that particular exchange, right? BIGETRON Esports being able to pick up the neutral objective, so props to Annabelle for being able to get that retribution down, and it's actually propped BTR to a 1,400 gold lead. Prior to that, ONIC at 600. So now, ONIC, they're going to have to think about this, right? Will Brusco be able to look for perhaps a different opening? We haven't really seen the full kit of Super Friends on the Luo Yi being utilized at its utmost potential just yet. But granted, they just hit that level 4. We're looking at a replay.
Ooh.
Oh, I see. Okay.
CC diff.
Yes, the AOG hit perfectly onto King Kong, unable to get that retribution down, and unfortunately, he was run down. The damage was there. He tried to go in for the shadow kill, didn't quite get it, and that final knockdown onto ONIC PH.
I don't know, who am I to say what King Kong should be doing, but he held onto that shadow kill to the very last minute. And I think he only pressed it because he knew he was going to die anyways. But that does put ONIC PH here in a precarious position. Down a turtle, down 2 kills. It was a good trade to start, honestly, with the pick-off on Eman. So now, what I'm afraid of, Eterna, is the fact that ONIC PH might slow down here. They might like play it more conservatively, which is, I think, counterproductive. They should keep going as long as they have a diversion to play with. They should try and force the issue elsewhere so that BTR don't notice, hey, Keller's hitting his power spikes.
Yeah, that's probably it. But, you know, to counter that, maybe they're just waiting for that power spike to hit anyway, right? But if they force into too many skirmishes, if they force themselves into too many team fights, the gap control will be even bigger.
Yep.
And then when Kelra gets to that power spike, it might be a little bit too late, because obviously Harith needs a little bit more time. Starlium Scythe now finally secured in by Kelra, so it is a step in the right direction. But meanwhile, coming back into the present, ONIC PH already looking for the next neutral objective take. You can see Brusco already looking for maybe an opportunity. The only person who has Purify right now is Eman.
Oh, Luke jumping on a Kirk. Still holding on to that AOG. Very low now, down to a fourth. A kick by Brusco into the back line. Zaman Force dropped in by Kelra. Luke with the Revitalize. Light, very low. Shadow kill! Kelra served up a kill. Down goes Light. Luke struggling to survive. 2 kills for the Filipino Savage. And that's 2 men down for Bigetron Esports. 3v5, and there's the diversion play. King Kong compromising Annavel's positioning, dashing through Annavel, trying to pop him. Electrifying beats takes down the fish girl. Kirk out of this fight. Another Zaman Force dropped in by Kelra, and this does deny ONIC PH the turtle blitz. Like, they have to think twice if this is still worth it.
Which is why I was wondering why they went for the diversion play to begin with, right? Eman, though, 3v1, will he be able to get out?
All right, caught by the Shunpo, kicked away. That's how long that fight was?
Still had to purify, still able to purify out, but now Light goes in. Luckily, Super Friends still being able to get out with the flicker, but what was that skirmish on the turtle, right? ONIC PH completely backed out. Bigetron should be able to pick up the next neutral objective of the game. That's already 2 out of 3. It was already so great for ONIC PH. Kirk was buying so much time. Luke gets taken down. They had the man advantage, but they kind of forced in that diversion play that eventually led up to nothing. And Bigetron was able to utilize that to their potential because Annavel's damage on the Joy in the early game is no laughing matter.
Yeah, ONIC PH pulled an Aaron Burr. They waited for the perfect time to play the diversion, and they sat on their hands when instead they shouldn't have thrown away their shot. They should have took it front facing, best foot forward, and just bulldozed through Bigetron Esports. They were already down 2 dudes. So yeah, I agree. It was a, analysis paralysis. They overthought it, overcomplicated what could have been a free turtle. And now Bigetron is up by 1,500, still controlling the map, taking down tier 1 and 2. Top and 1 and 1, top and bottom. We're back to square one. Like, this is where we started before that turtle.
See, it's... okay, we're already seeing the damage, but exactly, right? Because off of that whole escapade alone, Bigetron have found so much more value. And then it goes back to the question, what do ONIC PH now do? Annavel with a high speed, high mobility movement speed will be able to get a little bit more of an advantage in that top side, still pushing in, while the rest of Bigetron they're still grouping up as one, but so is ONIC PH.
Diversion.
Again.
I think ONIC is just using their kit right now to do just as you said earlier when I asked, should they keep fighting? They're just protecting their cores. And again, when we're going down the road, I was so afraid that they would. They're once bitten, twice shy. I don't think they want to pick fights actively anymore. And look at this, they jump on to Kirk, and they will blast him. Eman gets one, and that's a free pickoff unless Kelra looks for it. Drops the Zaman Force, down goes Brusco. Might be too little too late. Light might be the only casualty here. If Kelra will have his way, yes he will. 3v1! The Filipino Savage just keeps on going. Will he die here? Moreno wants to throw the arrow, catches it. Trap, might take down Kelra, shields up. Does not happen. King Kong already spent the Shadow kill. Shadow out once more. Luke goes down. King Kong gets his man.
Oh, Annavel's still going in though. Look at that damage! They both get taken down.
They trade out. King Kong ends up getting the double. And ONIC PH protect their mid lane tier 1.
Still able to do that. King Kong is gone, as we're going to take a little look into a replay. So Luke was the one to actually initiate that on. Kirk gets taken down here.
And I was looking for... Oh, he didn't even get to use his Tsunami Slam. I wonder what that was. Was that just Light's full kit? Yeah, Light got to use the Implosion. So I guess they pulled out all their tricks to use on that engage, and they thought that was it, but oh no, there's a real fight happening once more. Kirk falls alone.
Again, 0-4-2 right now on the Kalea is not doing too hot in terms of that KDA, and Bigetron Esports have been able to actually find the advantages on it. Diversion play by Super Friends.
Where is he going? What's the plan?
And with who?
It's just him. It's just him. I don't know how they're planning to contest. King Kong taking that small brush down, and Brusco getting blasted here. Down he goes. Look at this, diving into the pit. The beast finds his prey. Down goes the Lord, and ONIC PH are sending back BTR. Eman and Moreno with the skin of their teeth tuck tails through that Y-brush, recalling how? How did ONIC do that?
Oh, Annabelle running away from his life right now. Oh, he goes in for the kill.
Tsunami slam! Tombstone pile driver into the ground. Annabelle had nothing to do there. They folded that boy in half.
2-4-1 trade. ONIC PH have completely turned it around. Just when you think BIGETRON Esports are holding on to the advantage, just wait until Kelra gets his power spike. Right before that whole exchange happened, it was the Holy Crystal already secured in by Kelra. And knowing a team like this, they absolutely know their timings. They absolutely know when they should be going in, when they should be committing, and that is exactly what they did. What was BIGETRON on? What, almost a 2,000 gold lead?
Yeah, I mean, there are stages in the game where 2,000 feels significant, where 2,000 feels like a mile away, but ONIC crawled to gain that advantage. And part of me thinks there's some level of conditioning where BIGETRON somehow thought it was enough to lock down Brusco, enough to lock down Kirk, compromise Fritz's diversions, and now another fight gets picked up here. Brusco gets blasted. So yeah, these little kills, right? These little fumbles that ONIC PH give over to BIGETRON might be the key here. King Kong committing Grand Theft Purple.
Yeah, that's taken out and perfectly timed so, right? Because technically his retribution should be up for the next neutral objective anyway. So now BIGETRON Esports are caught in a position where they have to function for the next few minutes without the purple buff. What is Annabelle to do on the Joy?
Just find resources, you know, whatever green camps ONIC PH don't touch, whatever lane is safest to push out. That's what Annabelle does.
You don't want to play like that.
Yeah, no, that's a sad way to play as a Joy, but that's where they are.
Imagine getting all the resources that it is okay to be given to you.
Yeah,
ONIC PH.
It's living on a leash. It's like, yes, master. Thank you, master.
It's so unfortunate, man. The mind games that ONIC PH are pulling out right now. And BIGETRON, what do they do now?
Oh.
They keep asking these questions because things are going so back and forth.
Yeah,
and
no.
unfortunately, we're already at a point where ONIC PH have secured their power spike, where Eman should have had it to begin with.
Eman, you know, matchup-wise on the Ranger should be leading against the Harris, but yeah, no, that window has long gone by. We're 12.5 minutes in, Lord coming up in 10, the second Lord, by the way, of the game. That, oh my God, I think this is the turning point. The fact that ONIC stole it, the fact that ONIC tricked BIGETRON Esports into spending all their CCs pre-Lord retribution threshold. And that's what kind of maybe is affecting BIGETRON Esports now moving forward. Now that the Lord has spawned upper quarter, Annabelle can't do that thing anymore. Annabelle can't take the free lanes and resources that ONIC PH allow him to. He has to commit to this contest.
Yeah, and that's a scary part, right? That's a huge concern because technically with everything that's happening, they still have to think about the diversion play.
Tsunami slam on the one. Luke, AOG away. That's already a defensive resource used. The kick onto light implosion. The answer. Kirk, the only victim. And now in the back line, Annabelle trying to blast Super Friends with the dance. Not going to let it happen. Luke falls as well. 2 for 9. The Super Fam.
2-4-0 trade right now, and Super Friends is still in the back line there. He's quite a no man's land, still able to get out. That's a flicker.
Friends, he does not survive. Brusco falls. Friends walks away. Oh, eventually Eman gets a double. This is falling apart for ONIC PH, but Kelra's not done. Leo, give me a second. The KK connection is online. Moreno and Eman, they shouldn't be picking this fight.
Oh, 3-4-3 trade right now, but technically Super Friends didn't really have to go for that again, right? You were already 2 men up. You had the kills over. You had the man advantage.
There's no reason for Aloy to be that deep in.
Exactly. They could have gotten that Lord.
So instead, now the Lord just stands there. I wonder if BIGETRON Esports has enough firepower and resolve to say we're going to blitz this. Instead, they think twice about it. Because again, the map isn't exactly on their side.
Remember, always Super Friends lurking. Granted, the diversion was already utilized before, but if the timings aren't correct, anything can be turned around once again. Maybe they're going back to their buffs, and it's a complete reset for both of these teams.
Yep, we're back to where we were 2 minutes ago. The dance initiated. Annabelle pulling it ever so slightly to the red robot side. Luke taking this small brush next to the rock golem, and Lord gets reset.
But remember that bottom side is pushing in favor of BTR,
That's a
I
chubby
believe.
wave.
Exactly. So the pressure's on ONIC, honestly. They have to go back to housekeeping. Luckily, they do have diversion. But that's a diversion spin. Oh, well, there you go. They
Yep.
use diversion to control that wave.
Yeah, world's longest diversion. And King Kong will be not back. He said he'll take the scenic route. He's going to walk there. And now, I think that's a go signal for BIGETRON. He's supposed to blitz the Lord. And that is Annabelle securing it. And underneath that pit, Luke gets away. But no, he sent down under. So is Light. Was that worth it? 2 for the Lord. The 2 frontliners of BIGETRON for the neutral objective.
I mean, otherwise, that would have been ONIC PH with 2 kills plus a Lord, right? So I think BIGETRON at this point are looking for anything that they can take.
Bargain.
It is a bargain, but of course, this will reset things back to 50-50. I don't think BTR are going to be able to push it, especially with the way Kelra... Oh, King Kong!
Oh, in comes the beast! Taking 2 down. It's just Moreno left. How you go mukbang now? There's 5 members of the Super Fam facing you. And if only BTR picked the fight there, ONIC would have come in and oh, King Kong with the wipeout!
He's gone. He's gone. King Kong is taking left, right, and center. Every single robot that he can take, he wants to dismantle. 5-2-6 on the KDA. Wait, Leo?
Yeah?
Is that Kelra at 10-0-3?
Yes, he is. I bet he's hoping he bought a Sky Piercer for his Harith, but kids don't do that at home. Here we go. Breaking through mid lane. Inhibitors falling for BTR. Top lane. Next up on the docket. Now BIGETRON Esports have to clean up. House AOG coming in from Luke, and the rest of the Super Fam leave, and they catch Annabelle in the back line. Traded out for Super Friends. Interesting retreat by ONIC PH.
Wait. Did Annabelle get caught in the diversion? Is that what happened?
He did. So I don't know who planned it out or who saw who, but he was cutting the lane.
That is unfortunate.
I can tell you what happened. I can't tell you how.
Okay. Hopefully we'll get a highlight reel. Oh, okay. It's a replay. So diversion.
They come in, they jump in.
Oh.
So he did come with them.
He gets caught by Kirk, though. That's why he got pulled back in.
So he was mid Tsunami's time. And now the real-time fight coming in. AOG Luke finds a King Kong. Does not get him into the taunt long enough to stop the shadow kill. He falls himself. Moreno also out of commission. The Super Fam winning fight after fight.
2 members down, 28 seconds, 30 for Luke. Inhibitor down in the mid lane for BTR. And this is technically a little bit more time for ONIC PH to set up for this next big Lord.
Yeah, it's not like they're in a rush. Again, this is where they're comfortable. You know, cooldowns are at an all-time low. Items are stacking up. Kelra is a monster.
Oh.
And Kirk jumping through Tsunami Slam. No one home. They can take their time. Again, mission accomplished. An inhibitor, and then they can just re-engage on the contest.
Purify utilized, though, for Amon, so that's information. Annabelle going quite far from his team. Yeah,
Annabelle ain't taking that trip.
don't do it again.
No.
But luckily for BTR, the inhibitor turret that does get taken down is on the side of the Lord spawning.
Not the long lane.
So they can't utilize that to ONIC PH's advantage.
So it's as fair a fight as it could get for BTR and ONIC PH. King Kong, look at this, doing his due diligence. But he understands that it is nighttime. He joins the fight. Doesn't want that last engagement to happen again. It was delayed Lord take that eventually needed Kelra's interference, his intervention. But yeah, no, this is worrying. Look at this. That's a chubby wave of back-to-back that over and over again, King Kong has to clean up.
It's catch-22 right now. If he clears in the wave, he might lose a Lord. If he doesn't clear the lane, he might lose an inhibitor turret and might even be more, depending on how things actually progress. And I think ONIC PH are feeling that pressure that BTR are building onto them right now. Rusco gets hot there.
Orange first here for Annabelle. That's a buff. Extra oomph for a little bit of firepower to face off against ONIC PH, who is up by 3,000. Again, this is an insignificant amount of gold that you have on your cores if you're playing at, about 20 minutes. So Eman is at what Eman should be. He even sold his boots. So he's dealing the most damage he ever will.
Yeah, he's maxed out at this point, right? What is he on? Okay, Rose Gold Meteor makes sense.
Sky Piercer stacks is short.
Yes. And a complete reset again. for both of these teams. They've been able to clear out that bottom side, so ONIC PH now have a little bit more freedom to play with. Meanwhile, that lane in the top side will still be crashing in favor of ONIC PH.
Yeah. 50-50 lanes is beneficial for ONIC. Like, they can make this happen over and over again to force BTR into a less than advantageous position. The diversion here, I wonder if BTR knows who they're sending over. It's King Kong and Brusco in that long lane up top. And, yeah, Moreno just firing off arrows. Look, he's just clearing them out.
When is going to be the time where they look for a proper fight here? Kelra already looking for a little bit more damage onto the Lord.
Usually starts off with Kirk or Luke. It's one or the other. And now he drops Zaman Force, forcing Moreno out of that position. Moreno dashing back, spends the flicker. That's one big resource BTR's missing now.
They're going to be able to heal back.
Oh! They do catch Kirk. Luke committing. Kirk with the flicker out. 1-for-1 now. Brusco with the kick. Wrong angle. Annabelle sent over there. Forced to use the Winter Crown. What's he to do? Gets blasted to a 10th of his health. Dashing away. King Kong with a shadow out. Lord this time, 3/4 of its health. Zaman Force, already dropped by Kelra. BTR with a tactical retreat. The re-engage by Luke. Revitalized, not enough. Kelra gets one.
Absolutely here, then that's going to be a free Lord given over to ONIC PH. We see a diversion play onto Moreno. He's caught in the sandwich.
Oh my god, there's 4 members, 5 from all angles. He got mukbanged this time, and there's 3 members left to defend.
Annabelle going in.
Tsunami Slam gets him. Kirk does not survive. Eman gets a kill, but Annabelle falls eventually. Here comes the Lord wearing black and yellow.
So at what cost was that? Brusco still looking for the right opportunity. There's still the Immortal coming through, but that's another member taken down.
Oh, desperation implosion from Light. Ladies and gentlemen, ONIC PH takes game.